girl, hey!
Hey girl, hey, how you doing
I'm
today?
good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing better than you because you're having those technical difficulties. So
I,
I think
I
I'm probably doing better.
one thing, if you ever want to watch something very uncomfortable, have you watched Star Trek Voyager at all?
Voyager, I've started into it. Like I just watched a couple episodes because I was still working through Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. So Voyager is my next one that I'm gonna like commit to like watching them back to back because I kind of watched each one of them a little bit at the beginning to see like what they were kind of the vibe was about. Because I knew Next Generation was the one I was going to watch first, but I was like, oh, what after that one? And unlike you, I actually like the vibe of Deep Space Nine. So I was like, oh, I'll watch this one.
So I like the vibe of Deep Space Nine. I do until the last. Have you finished it?
No, I haven't finished yet. I'm still. I think I'm in like. I think I'm on like season 4 at this
Oh
point.
yeah, no, you're great, great. Season four is one of the best seasons of Star Trek. I believe it's either season four, or season five. It is great. It is fantastic. There is a point you're going to get to. Know that point. Okay, when you watch this, you're going to go, oh, and it's going to change, and you are going to go, oh, and that last season, you're going to be sitting there. You're going to go, oh. It's see, I like Deep Space Nine. I really do. I really do because Benjamin Sisko is a great role model, monolithic like character. He's a great actor. Avery Brooks is a great actor. Then you get to that last season, and you're like, oh,
Okay. Well, that's a lot of last seasons,
yeah,
unfortunately. I think for me, my favorite thing about Deep Space Nine, obviously, is because it's almost like Star Trek mixed with Fantasy Island and Love Boat.
yeah,
It's like all of those things combined, but in a Star Trek way. And so I every episode I'm like, oh my gosh, who's the guest star today that's gonna come in and like it's literally like Hotel. Like, and you remember in the '80s, those were all of my favorite
yep,
things. I love those shows that were just a rotating cast of
yep.
guest stars each week.
I do also want to talk about. So I'm going to warn you about Voyager now. We're going to have a little conversation about Voyager. Um,
Okay.
one of the main characters is Native American.
Okay.
In the '90s, they tried to do good. They tried. They hired somebody on to give like advice on how to be sensitive to Native Americans. The man, they didn't check his credentials. Like he gave all of this stuff on like spirit journeys and medicine wheels and all of this stuff, and it was all bogus.
Oh no.
So you're gonna be watching this and just going, "Wow, this is a lot of
Oh,
stuff."
they could have hired my dad, right? Yeah, they could have
Exactly.
hired my
He would
dad.
have loved to have done it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's not really into sci-fi stuff, but he would have been happy to be a consultant on
Yeah,
that.
because like you watched DS9, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not DS9, TNG. He is
Yes.
from the. Do you remember the planet with the Native Americans in the last season?
Yes.
That semi-racist planet. He is from that semi-racist planet.
You know, I so it's funny, right? I don't blame pop culture because in real life we still haven't gotten our Native American
No,
stuff right.
no.
So it's like sometimes I watch pop culture things and I'm like, this is not great. But at the same time, we haven't even gotten it right in real life. So why
No,
would they have it right in the
no,
entertainment?
no. But on another thing, Charlotte is getting a casino.
They are
The
not.
Catawba Indians have some land, and they are like they sued the Cherokee, won, and are putting that shit there
Oh
in
my
Kings
gosh, that's
Mountain, North Carolina,
amazing.
just outside Gastonia. It's going to be
Oh my gosh.
huge.
I'm so excited. Oh
I
my gosh. Maybe that's where we can do a live show.
You know I love a
Don't look at me
casino.
like that. I know you do. I know you do. So I'm just saying, we could take our little podcast slash cabaret show on the road to Catawba.
Because I'm not good enough for the Seminole Casino, the Hard Rock Seminole Casino. But
Girl, not many of us are. That place is. They were talking about all the events they're doing for Pride, and I was like, oh, they're gonna have a Project Runway reunion fashion show and blah blah blah. I was like, oh, okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. That's too much.
Before this, the only thing they were known for was Anna Nicole dying there.
I know, right? But it's beautiful now. It's beautiful. Have you seen it? Since they built the giant guitar?
No.
Yeah, there's a giant guitar hotel that is so big, I can see it. I can see it on the overpass when I leave Miami, and that's about 20 miles away.
I love the Seminoles because they have taken everybody for every last penny they're worth. Oh, you want to use our name? Sure. Give us all of the money so we can have health care and all of this. Is it right? Is it a little dirty? Probably. But you know what? We're making bank.
No, it's amazing. I love all of their stuff. It's really great. The funny part is that, and I'll have to take you to the hotel, is that it's, like how sometimes there's really beautiful things in the middle of nothing. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, like the street that it's on. It's like there's this beautiful, like ornate kind of hotel, but everything around it, not so much. Right, like that's where I go to get my car serviced. Over in that part of town.
Have you been to the Cherokee Casino? You've been to Cherokee, North Carolina, though, right?
I have.
Okay,
yeah, I have.
So as you're going that curvy ass way, as you're going down 19, you pass by Santaland. You go just a little bit farther. There's the Grandma's Buffet right beside the Tribal Bingo, and then all of a sudden, casino.
Oh wow, it's in that area.
Yes.
Wow. Because I still have the nightmares of going by Santaland, so I still remember that area vividly, and I can't imagine a giant casino in that area.
So Mama Mims, when I was much younger, we went to Santaland, and she was attacked by an emu there. Like
they had a lot of animal attacks there.
They did. Like that emu just came up and chased her down, and there was still the fence. She was just feeding it through the fence, and whatever. For those of you that do not know, in Cherokee, North Carolina, there is a amusement park that is more amusing than amusement. It's called Santaland. It's open in the summer because I guess that's where Santa goes during the summer. I don't know, but there's like a sleigh ride, roller coaster, and that's about it.
That's it. That's all.
It's about about 30 miles from Maggie Valley, ghost town in the sky, which turned into a Christian resort, and now they're hoping to reopen it as a girl. They put 3 huge crosses up in Maggie Valley, up on that mountain, that you could see, and then the woman lost all the money and the cross started falling apart. I just can't even with these people.
What a great analogy for evangelicism. I mean, honestly.
If you can't see me, I'm just pointing at Maim, going, "Yes, girl, yes, yes, queen, yes, yes, yes."
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible.
So I want to give you a financial report.
Oh, I like those.
As some of you may know, we now have included advertisements in our podcast, which may be turned off soon, as we have made, drumroll please, 30 cents.
Oh my gosh, not 30
cents.
That is impressive. That is... I could get a box of Red Hots for that.
Well, I can't take any money out till we reach $10.
Oh, okay. so I can save up for more boxes of Red Hots.
So what I think I may do, dear listeners, is turn off the advertisements for the new episode and leave them on for the older ones. That way new people, your listeners who are subscribers, you don't have to deal with it. So this is please tell your people to subscribe so that they don't have to listen to ads, because they are very annoying. I got one for Bojangles telling them that they're hiring nearby.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
I was like, oh, good. I do want a Bowberry biscuit. Your advertisement worked, just not in the right way.
Oh, man. Sorry, I got really sad there for a second because I'm not anywhere near Bojangles, and when you said that just now, I was like, oh, that would be so nice.
There isn't a Bojangles down there?
A nice bow biscuit. Oh, Faye.
There isn't a Bojangles down there.
Oh, no, you froze.
Oh, no, what, you froze too, but I can still hear you.
Mims, you froze.
Can you hear me?
You froze.
Yeah,
I can't hear you now.
You can or cannot?
I couldn't for a second. You were frozen and I couldn't hear you, but now I can hear you.
Okay, good. It said I did get you froze, but I could the connection is weird. Unstable.
Yeah, I just got I couldn't hear you again. So maybe as long as you can hear yourself, that's fine. Because
as long as you can hear yourself, I can always hear myself.
I don't know. No, I'm just saying, I mean, for the purpose of the recording, I'm guessing. I don't know. You're the one staring at all the gauges. I have no idea.
Girl, they're barely. It's more of a suggestion than a gauge.
That's a great analogy for evangelicism, also.
So, how about we get into this week's episode? Episode 11, New Year's Daze.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
New Year's, I'm excited, right? We have our first holiday kind of episode. We get to see a tree, which I'm very excited about because we never get to.
We skipped a Christmas episode.
Well, I told you on the last one, I don't think they were quite ready for that, because Christmas episodes are very specific, so I don't think they were quite ready for that.
I don't think they'd gotten their full order in for the show yet. That's what I think happened. I don't think it's that they weren't ready. I think it's, we may be done now. We may not even make it past New Year's.
Well, so I was looking, right, because you know me, I'd like to do my little research. This was actually on New Year's Day. This episode was on New Year's Day in 1987.
Okay.
So, which is kind of a big deal, right? The fact that they actually got an actual day of episode. But I still hold true to what I said, which is when they did the original specs for the episodes, the next two after this are part 1 and part 2. So they basically planned for, if this doesn't survive, we'll go out with an actual 2-part kind of episode. And it just happened that they got renewed. Because, I don't think they would have. I think that they were kind of planning for, things like that.
Okay.
So that's just what I think. That's that's just my brain set.
So, start off the episode. Charlene has a date. Finally, Mason is out of the picture. He's too fat for her, and we've moved on. And she won't tell anybody.
However, we didn't say that in the episode, though. It's just to be assumed.
It's just to be assumed. Now, we aren't talking about who this person is yet. No.
It's a mystery.
A mystery. But we'll get to it soon. We're going to go through some fat jokes about Suzanne. These are now starting. And dear listeners, for those of you that have never watched Designing Women. This is a good place to start this. This becomes a issue as the seasons go on. At this point, Delta Burke is not fat. She is perfectly like normal sized for her age. She's a little buxom.
She's just busty to me. Like,
but like
she still has a small waist and everything.
As they move forward, Delta Burke does gain weight, and the jokes get meaner and meaner and meaner and meaner. So much so, I'm just going to warn you now that Delta Burke leaves the show because she can't handle anymore. It ruins her and Dixie Carter's friendship. Like, it is a lot. So we're really starting to see it start. Season 1, Episode 11, New Year's Daze. There you go.
I will say there was a great joke in here, which some of our audience... this is a foreshadowing for our future podcast. Yeah, we talked about this before.
Probably.
So I like when Charlene gets the one perfect rose, and she says she talks about how amazing that is, and Suzanne says, "Yeah, it just means he's cheap." And Julia, speaking about some of their other entertainment that's on television at the same time, says, and I quote, "Joan Collins' values strike again." And I thought, yes. I said, I saw nothing wrong with that personally.
Oh, me either.
It's just me.
Me either.
It's like,
I also want to let you know something. It says here
What?
Claudia has a date.
No, but she's not 16 yet. That's not okay.
But she has a date.
Oh, jeez. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean,
neither did Mary Jo. And like, Mary Jo goes back and forth and wants to contact her, see how she's doing, see if she can cancel it, especially since Suzanne brings up the bases.
What kind of bases? Like sports bases?
No, like first base is kissing, second base is breasts, third base is... We won't get into that, or home run.
Oh, jeez. Oh, thank goodness. I was going to have to go get my smelling salt if we got any further.
So then everybody asks, well, where's Anthony? A question we've been asking for about the past 3 episodes yet again.
I know we've gone through it twice now where we're like, where's Anthony? Oh, there's Anthony, and then Anthony's gone again, and now we're like, where's Anthony?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're also concerned.
It's true. It's very true. And then this is another running gag. Where's Anthony? Suddenly Meshack Taylor walks through the door, and they're all like, wow, that's scary that you did that. Oh my goodness. And you know, but it also is a little racist because it indicates that white people think black people are always late. Because where is he?
He should be here by now.
But I will say his story when he walks through the door, it sort of turns all of their misconceptions on their head because Suzanne forgot to call ahead to the place to the gourmet shop where Anthony was picking up some pate and
champagne.
No, eggnog.
Was it? Oh,
it was
that's right.
eggnog. They drink so much eggnog in this episode. So much.
Wait, I think I actually wrote that down. Oh, Anthony bought 4 quarts of eggnog and goose pate. 4 quarts of eggnog?
So much. And it's, oh my God, they were actually, could y'all, dear listeners, could you imagine on a hot set drinking this eggnog that had probably been sitting there for hours and hours and hours underneath the hot lights? Like, and they're literally, they take sips of it. Like, it is gross looking.
So this is another question that I have. Why would you buy 4 quarts of eggnog and goose pate when they weren't even planning on spending New Year's there?
Oh, I don't have an answer. I was hoping you...
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought maybe you might know, because I was genuinely confused at that. Like, obviously, we know that there's going to be some twists and turns to this plot. However, I was just like, 4 quarts is a lot. That's a lot of eggnog.
I think what it may be is they were planning something for New Year's Day itself. like a little pre-gaming and the New Year's Day itself. Also, white people in the 80s like to spend a lot of money.
Oh, that's true also. So let's get into Anthony's story because it's a humdinger.
Uh-huh. So Suzanne forgot to call the store with her payment for the goose pate and 4 quarts of eggnog. And Anthony walks in, and the store owner thinks that he's holding up the store. Everybody gets to the ground, including Anthony. And the police are called, and they let him go because what robber is coming there to buy? Goose pate at 4 quarts of eggnog.
I think it's funny. It's funny because Anthony, when he talked about what his reaction was, that would be exactly my same reaction. I would be like, "Oh my God, where? Somebody's, whatever." That you forget that that there are people that that do that. I mean, I've probably been in one of those situations.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, real talk. Have you ever been watched around the store?
I think I was followed like one time, maybe ever, and that was like, I think that was about it. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty oblivious to those things anyway. I didn't even notice when men were checking me out, so I'm definitely not going to notice when people in stores are following me because whatever.
I would like to say back in high school, which is so 2 things. One, you learn that the person who's most likely to steal when you work retail is a man in their 40s or older. A single man. They don't tell you race because all single man, 40s and older, who just goes in, runs real quick in, looks around, and then leaves. Okay. That person probably stole something. Back when we were in high school, it was the white girls. You remember them getting kicked out of the Hickory Mall?
Yes, I do.
And one of them wearing wigs to go and steal stuff.
Terrible wigs, too.
Did you see them?
No, I just remember there'd be girls in the mall in terrible wigs. Like, I remember... like when I finally had the ability to go to the mall by myself, and I would drive to the Hickory Mall because I felt fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Plus, that was as far as my car could go, basically, because I couldn't get on the highway. Remember that? Because my car wouldn't go fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would drive to the Hickory Mall because I could take the back roads. Gosh, that's sad when I say it out loud. But yeah, I remember that there used to be girls in these terrible wigs, and I was always confused, like, why they were wearing them. But now you've told me that, I'm like, oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah, because they used to go to Belk and Lerner, and what else was there?
I haven't heard the word learner in so long.
I was talking about, so somebody at work was wearing a pair of leggings, and I thought they were stirrup pants. And I went up to her and said, "Did you get those from Lerner of New York?" And she just looked at me and said, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, they're just leggings. They aren't stirrup pants." She's like, I have not shopped at a Lerner since I was 12.
Neither had anybody else. That's why they're not around now.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
right. So speaking of things we haven't done in a long time, Suzanne's date is a lovely 82 years young gentleman.
Yes.
Who just happens to be on the Fortune 500, although Suzanne's claims she had no idea.
There's a call.
Is there? Who's calling?
It's JD.
It's a holiday.
It's JD.
Oh, that handsome JD.
That handsome
Mary Jo's
JD.
so lucky to have him.
Oh no,
What?
he has to go to his ex-wife's first for
Not again.
for New Year's. Yeah, he's gonna meet them at the bar later, but he's got to go there first.
But haven't they been divorced for a while now?
Yes, they have been, but she doesn't think they are.
Oh, well, somebody has to tell her that they're divorced
I
again,
know,
right?
I know. And Julia says you need to be sweet, patient, and understand. There's another phone call.
Wait, 2 phone calls on New Year's Eve? That's weird.
It's Reese.
Wait, like Julius
Reese.
what's he want? He's supposed to be
He's
there,
stuck in
isn't
New
he?
York City
Wait, are you serious? On New Year's Eve?
on New Year's Eve.
Surely Julia's gonna think this is actually okay.
No,
'cause
she
just
loses
talked
her
about
shit.
Oh no.
And hangs up the phone on him.
No, on New Year's.
On New Year's.
You know, it'll be a really good segue if we could somehow bring in, a nice jazz band singing "When the Saints Go Marching In." Oh wait, that's actually what they're playing at the club. Because if we're gonna be ringing in the new year, that's what we want to be thinking about is when the Saints go marching in.
So and Julia stays at home while they're all going to the bar, right? Julia's
that's
at home.
just sad. That's sad too.
It is, but so there's something that made me think of you, because Suzanne's date is sitting there asleep with the geriatric wheezing, and this harkens back to the episode with Primmy, who is very old, mind you, who was sleeping with the geriatric wheezing.
Those Sugar Baker sisters, they pick up on some breathing habits.
Yes, they do.
I wonder.
Wait!
I wonder
I've got
if
news.
Wait, what kind of news?
Charlene was secretly seeing Shadow.
Who's Shadow?
I don't know. We don't know much about him. They were just talking.
That sounds so dangerous and
I
mysterious.
know, because his name is Shadow.
Ooh, like Shadow Stevens?
Or, oh, God. I'm done. I am done. Call the car.
Oh man, do you remember Shadow Stevens in the 80s? Like he had that crazy like radio voice, and like they wanted him to be some kind of like new blonde hunk, but he just sounded like a radio announcer.
Well, he was a
and it
radio
so
announcer.
weird. No, I know that, but he sounded like it even when he was just doing regular acting.
I know.
Oh man, the 80s was amazing.
It really was. Oh my God. He was on Hollywood Squares a lot with the microphone in front of it.
He was.
Yeah.
I just found out, speaking of other 80s icons, I just found out that my husband shares a birthday with Mr. T. I know. That was so exciting.
I've got a little secret for you. Do you know who I share a birthday with?
Who?
Queen Elizabeth II.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now. The only living celebrity that I share a birthday with right now is Pitbull.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny.
I hate it.
I'm talking about you and Full Gage. That is where the...
I know. I just hate it because, like, down here, Pitbull is basically like the national whatever spokesperson for Miami, so you really can't turn a radio station on without hearing a
My
Pitbull
God,
song at
why
some point.
can't it be like Gloria Estefan still? Why has it got to be Pitbull?
Because Gloria Estefan has devoted herself to being like the godmother of Miami instead of like the ambassador of Miami now. So now she's just keeping everything internalized, and she's trying to make this place better for all the other rich Cubans that arrive here.
Oh, the liberal ones.
No,
Oh.
there's no such thing. There's not a rich liberal Cuban, honey. There is a rich Cuban and there's a liberal Cuban. There's not a rich liberal Cuban. That's not a thing. You might have a moderate rich Cuban, but there will never be a liberal rich.
Well, I mean,
Cuban.
except for Gloria Estefan, who is...
A moderate rich Cuban.
Well, she's a Joe Biden Democrat. Look, you got to do what you got to do. For a Cuban, she's real liberal.
I said a moderate rich Cuban.
Where were we with this story before we get in trouble with people?
I almost had to pull out a Tamisha Iman. I said what I said, but thankfully I didn't.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tamisha Iman for making the internet much more fun.
Yeah, Maim, don't get us canceled before we even started.
Sorry. Yeah, so it was really great, right? Because Shadow apparently, it's not really that much of a secret right? Which harkens back again, I love saying harkens back, to earlier in the episode where Charlene got the rose and it was just signed by an S, right? And then we flash forward to this part of the conversation where Mary Jo knows about Shadow,
right?
But she was still confused as to who sent the rose with the letter S.
Well, Mary Jo's not the, I won't say not the brightest, but not the most...
Oh wait. There's a phone call at the restaurant right now.
There is.
Who
is it?
JD's wife is on the line, and she needs to speak to him urgently.
Well, I guess he's got to go and talk to her.
Oh.
He's got to go and talk to her, because what about if it's the kids, right?
Oh, that's true. It could be the kids. You're right. It could be JD's kids. It could be. So let's just pretend that it's okay, right? Mary Jo, are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Oh, but Julia said you should be okay right now.
She really just wants them to be divorced. Also, happy 1987!
Yeah. Oh no, we're not. It's not ready yet. No, we're not ready yet.
It's that old man. Every single time he goes, hey, 1987, it gets me.
Especially when they say the word 1984 and then he says happy 1987. Yes. I was like,
yeah, he's got it. He's got it. JD's back.
Okay. So are the kids okay? Is anybody have poison control?
The ex-wife was just watching Casablanca, and it was their favorite movie.
Oh yeah. Wait. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna insert a really fun joke here about how much I don't like reruns.
Yeah. Moving on, everybody decides to leave and go back to Sugarbakers.
I know, right? I'm just gonna put a little note here in Worth's horn, though, just so he knows, and it's a note of appreciation.
I was wondering if that. I was hoping this, dear listeners, this doesn't happen in the episode, but it would be kind of comical, dark but comical, if the note in the horn killed him, and like Suzanne missed out on all these millions of dollars.
She wouldn't have gotten the millions of dollars. It's not like she would have. I mean, they didn't get married yet.
No, but
so
yet.
That would have been. That's true, actually. So I was excited, right? So they were watching the ball drop, and I think
Wait,
that
newsflash!
What? Wait, what's happening?
Shadow has escaped from prison.
Wait, but Charlene didn't say that he was actually still in prison.
Well, the note said that he'd be getting out on New Year's. She thought it was parole.
Oh, so Charlene knowingly was writing and sharing.
He's an angel.
Oh, okay.
An
I mean, I
angel.
guess that should be okay. Wait, who's at the door?
Oh, it's the FBI.
Wait, what? Why is the FBI at our house?
Oh, because Shadow. They know Shadow's been riding her.
Wait, so they've been monitoring, and they know all about the relationship that Charlene and Shadow have been having by correspondence?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Oh no! You know, I found this section pretty fun, right? Because we already know Charlene's got a pretty problem kind of issue, but I really love the fact that Charlene goes through this very gay man moment where she talks about how much she thinks about the men playing football the next day. Because we jump to the next morning, everyone, and they actually all slept at the same house because the men folk didn't want to leave the women folk alone. Right. And I like this. Like, Charlene says that she really loves watching football because she loves all those sweaty men, and she likes to think about them in the locker room. However, she does think it's kind of perverted that they slap butts.
And then Julia says, hold on. Then Julia says, there's more going on football fields than half the married bedrooms in America.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, they caught Shadow.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. Although I feel bad for Charlene a little bit because she was really excited.
Yeah.
But you know what though? You know what? Now that Shadow has been apprehended, I kind of want some pizza.
Yeah, with double pepperoni.
Oh yeah.
Get the double pepperoni.
let's send the men folk out to get some pizza now because, we have to have our ladies' time real quick.
Yeah. So they all sit around and wait!
What?
Shadow's back at large again.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
But that's not what the news in the phone call said.
Well, that's what happens in 80s sitcoms.
Do you know what we can do though to take our mind off of it? Let's sit around and we're gonna write out our New Year's resolutions.
Oh my God, this mess! I did not write down a single one of them because they just.
I did.
Oh, go on, Maim. Go on.
So Suzanne said that her main New Year's resolution this year is that she's going to pluck her eyebrows differently. I thought that was actually appropriate. I can relate, actually. Mary Jo's was that this year, 1987, is that she's going to be more brazen and aggressive, and unless somebody has a problem with it, and then she won't.
Yes.
She won't.
Of course not.
At all.
Of course not.
Julia Sugarbaker says that she's going to be less judgmental. In which case, there would be no sitcom.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
That the entire sitcom is based on her judgmental qualities. And then Charlene, bless her heart. Charlene said that she's going to do better this year and not get lost in endless thoughts. Like thinking that every situation that she's in, she's being filmed by Alan Funt and the hidden camera, so audience, if you're not familiar, dear listeners, there was a show that was very popular for a few decades, where they would just put hidden cameras in different locations and set up these scenarios and watch your average Joe and Jane react to wacky scenarios. And it got so bad, as Charlene said, that some people actually were a little nervous that they were just being watched at all times. So it was kind of like a prelude to Big Brother in a way. But in a funny kind of way.
Not very.
So yeah, but that was the ladies. That was some of their stuff. I think what?
There's somebody behind everyone.
What are you talking about? Like somebody's in the house?
It's Shadow.
Oh my God, he's gonna murder all of us. Oh my God, he's really handsome.
Well, question for.
Oh my God, he's really handsome for the 80s.
There you go. Why didn't they lock the back door?
Oh crap, always watch your back door. Take it from gay men. Always watch your back door. There's always a danger. It's going to have unauthorized entry.
And for straight men who go to gay clubs, always stand against a wall so you can definitely protect your back door.
But just to make sure that wall doesn't have a hole in it.
Yeah, tap it a couple of times. If you get a tap back, move to another wall.
And if you tap it a couple of times and you feel a bead of sweat, that's just a muscular man's torso.
It's true. It's really true. I've lost all track of thinking about some thoughts on Instagram.
I would say this, right? I'm really happy about this because they all learned a lesson here, right? Because we found out, brace yourself. Everything Shadow wrote Charlene in those notes was completely true.
It's true.
He's working with the feds. He's undercover. He's not really a criminal. All of it. Everything he told Charlene. Mind you, he's an undercover federal agent sending letters outside of a prison talking about how he's an undercover federal agent sending letters outside of the prison. Like, what?
I don't. I just. Yeah. And then Shadow leaves. Like they hug and Shadow leaves and.
Wait.
Okay.
Something amazing happens at the very end. Remember, Shadow talks about the letters that Charlene sends, and he said, You all mean so much to each other. Don't ever change.
Oh, to 1987.
1987. Wait, that was our. What was that? That's first grade for us, right? First grade.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
First grade. Yeah.
Second?
First grade.
Yeah, that's first
6,
grade.
7. Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
Yeah. 97. That's first grade.
Yay.
Yay. So,
Who was your first grade teacher?
My first grade teacher was, well, I had two, right? I had Miss Henderson, who then she went and got married, and she came back as Mrs. Revis. But remember that strange period where like her brother-in-law came and he was our substitute for a while?
Well, I was not in your class.
No, that's what happened. Like I even went to her wedding. I was like a little 7-year-old with my mom, and I went to her wedding.
Aww.
and she went on honeymoon for a while, and her brother-in-law, Philip Revis, I think his name was, he came and he was our substitute for a bit, which whatever, it was a different time. But yeah, and then she came back, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice. She was I really loved her.
Do you remember who your teacher's aide was?
In first grade? No, actually,
I remember both of mine.
Oh,
my teacher was Mrs. Cook.
Yes.
And my teacher's aide was Mrs. Booth. Sharon Booth, do you remember her?
I remember Mrs. Booth.
Because
yeah.
she also turned out back later on whenever I worked at the Dollar Tree. She was also the assistant manager there. I love that woman to death.
I mean, you loved her, but she didn't love a lot of kids.
No. But at the Dollar Tree, like,
I mean, let's be honest here. Just so you know, dear
listeners,
one thing you should know about Miss Mims is that she has this uncanny ability to connect with Black women immediately, and like better than myself, who is Black. Miss Mims just fall in love with him and just want him to be like, you know, like that cousin that they never thought that they were going to have, because they thought that, you know, that didn't happen in real life.
Yeah. I don't have a reason for it. Like, I don't. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm blunt and sassy.
Oh, that might be
like because my attitude is, well, you did it. Deal with it.
I can already tell you right now from this podcast, because, dear listeners, my mother listens to every one of these podcasts. I can already tell you that she is going to call me and give me the explanation for why Black women love Miss Mims so much, because I'm sure she has already had an internal thesis statement written about this.
Maybe it's because all my words come from both a place of love and a place of judgment.
I mean, between my mother and my aunties, that sounds like all of them.
So, did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
Oh, yes. Suzanne Sugarbaker's party dress was everything.
Mine?
Everything.
Mine is not Suzanne. Anthony looked so good. So good when he was with Julia.
Okay,
so good. That evening in that, I think it was a maroon like blazer, Meshach Taylor looked so good. I mean, I wouldn't have slept with him good, but like good.
Well, he's straight, so he wouldn't have slept with you anyway.
Well, and we're all still surprised by that.
That still shakes me still to this day.
Yeah. Did you like the episode?
Oh, this is a fun episode. I would have liked, I think for me personally, the only thing that could have made this episode better is if we had had more of Shadow, right? Like a little bit more of Shadow other than just him at the very end. Like, I think that would have been more fun, at least. Like, if Shadow had like been there overnight with them and they could have had like kind of like with the sleepover, right? Like have like moments like that. I think that would have been fun, but I think because the guys were there, it wouldn't have been quite the same. Also, one thing that after like the third time I watched this episode, I realized something that was really funny, and obviously the audience wasn't like a joke or whatever. But Mary Jo has a thing where she is essentially sounding probably like JD's wife sounds when she's talking about her kids and how she normally spends the holidays with them. And I was like, oh my gosh, like she literally is sounding like JD's wife probably. But it was such an in passing thing that nobody pointed out the irony of it, that it was just more like a sympathetic moment. But I thought, girl, like you do realize that you're being completely like two-sided here, right?
I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. This was, you know, Anthony really does sort of help them. I don't know if it was not necessarily on the set, right? Like I don't think Meshach Taylor's that, at least yet, that strong of a comedian, right? He's funny, right? But compared to the rest of them, Gene Smart, Dixie Carter, Delta Burke, Danny Potts,
he's still getting his footing. He's still getting his footing.
I mean, the man's only had 2.5 episodes,
right? Literally.
But something tells me there's something off stage that has switched with him there, that it really helps. And I any episode so far with him in it has been better to me than ones without. Does that make sense?
I like that. It does.
Yeah, we'll see if that holds up till last season. It won't. But
I'm excited. So I would say that I really don't know the next two episodes. I'm not that familiar with them. So I'm very excited for us to do this because like most of these I remember like at least pretty vividly from being a kid in reruns, but those two I'm not as familiar with. So that's going to be interesting.
So just a side note before we leave, have you? I do want to give a shout out to Gene Smart, who is in a very sad TV show that we aren't going to talk about, but she's also in another TV show called Hacks. Have you?
Wait, what's this? What's the sad?
She's
TV
in another. I don't know. Like
that woman is working.
Yeah, like she's in a drama. It's on HBO as well. I don't remember.
Lord.
Yeah, she's like a mother or something, and some stuff's going on. And
you better go on, Gene Smart. You better get that money.
But have you watched Hacks at all yet?
Not yet. I've been working on a lot of stuff this week, so I haven't had time to watch it.
There are already 4 episodes out. So the show,
why are you yelling at me?
Is basically she's Joan Rivers, right? In Vegas.
Okay.
And
okay.
Like they're shortening her time at the casino. So she's having to deal with that. And her agent hires her a writer who is down on her luck after a crappy tweet. Okay. Yeah, it's all very contrived. Gene Smart is radiant and hilarious. Like it is.
I love it.
It is. What?
Because she really hasn't done comedies in a while. It's been mostly dramas.
I mean, she was in Sweet Home Alabama for a hot second.
Girl, how long ago was that movie?
I don't know. I still remember from the Oblongs.
Oh my gosh, right? Shout out to the Oblongs. Bring that back, HBO.
I know, right? Like all 5 episodes. It was so weird. So weird. But
now I have the song going in my head. Down in the valley of a chemical spill.
No more, because then we'll have to pay royalties and our 30 seconds will go away. Or 30 seconds, 30 cents.
That won't even cover it.
No, it won't, girl. No, it won't. No, it won't. No, it won't. So next time on this lovely podcast, join us for episode 12, Old Spouses Never Die.
Part 1.
1. Oh, God. All right, girl.
Why you sound so tired? We just been sitting here talking.
Well, look, so on Friday, and I'm still recording, maybe I'll keep this in, just give everybody a little bit more after. So on Thursday, actually, I went to Korean barbecue.
Okay.
Which is where you grill it yourself in front of you. And I'm a little colorblind, so I can't really tell when things turn done. So I think I may have eaten a little bit of underdone meat.
Oh no!
So let me just tell you, Friday evening and Saturday. Woo!
Oh
no,
sorry.
I'm fine.
That's terrible.
I'm fine now. I was just a little nauseous Friday night with a little bit of fever. Saturday I was just a little upset stomach, and today I'm dealing with the last little bit of gas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but no, I'm fine. I did take a COVID test just to make sure, and I am negative. I don't even know why I took it because I'm vaccinated, and I believe in science and all of that. But I just worried because I'm crazy.
I mean, it's a legitimate worry.
And I did go to the Walgreens next door, and they have the little antigen tests now, the little test you can take at home for $24. And I thought to myself as I bought it, it only took us a year and 3 months to get these damn tests into our... I was so happy and so pissed off at the same time, because South Korea has had these things for a year now. Like,
well,
what?
Yeah.
What,
I mean,
then again,
what are you
different? A year ago was a different time in this country.
A different time, such a different time. We were going through some things that nobody even understood how bad it was.
And we still have not had an insurrection yet.
Yeah, right?
Like,
we're not going to let America forget the fact that we had an insurrection.
An insurrection. And I do apologize, dear listeners, if that offends you. If you can unsubscribe.
Please.
That's the line right there. I dear listeners, yeah. But then again, if you're a dear listener who's listening to two drag queens talk about designing women, something tells me you may not agree with those assholes who try to take over our government.
No. I mean, we could be wrong, but I doubt we are.
I doubt it too. Oh God. Parched.
That's why I have water. I have. Okay, Joanne Worley.
What's up? You said like you sound like you had. Oh! Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, sure. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at Auntie Maim. That's Maim, because I will cut you. You can find, our podcast is on Instagram at Mims and Maim. You can find my drag house on Instagram at House of Yas. That's HAUSOFYAS. So if you're in Miami, South Florida, you can come
spell
see our
that out
shows.
one more time, because it sounded like HAUSOFYAS.
I was like, I did spell it right.
You did. It just sort of all blended together.
Yeah. So those are like the places. So yeah, if you're ever down in South Florida way, because since you folks are literally around the world at this point, come on down and you can come meet me, come see me at a show. We have a villain theater in Miami, so you can come see us.
And I am the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me at Miss Mims on Twitter. That's about the only thing I use. I'm not very good at it. You can find us at Mims and Maim on the Instagram, Twitter, and Facebooks. We're okay at that. You can also join our Patreon. Patreon! We currently still have no supporters. And we have made...
Well, we don't also have, like, much anything
Yeah,
bonus
well, no.
either, so
like,
maybe we could do that.
dear listeners, tweet us at Mims and Maim if you've made it to this 55-minute mark of this. Tweet us at Mims and Maim and tell us what you want from us. Things that you would pay for from us. Not sex, because that's illegal. And
plus they don't want that from us.
may. You never know. I'm not having sex in drag. I've been asked once, and they told me I was a beautiful lady. I laughed at them, turned around, and walked away. Dear listeners, I am many things.
Dear listeners.
I am not a beautiful lady. I think I was in my red curly wig at the time. Oh, yeah. Ooh. No, it was not good. No, it was the red and black one. The red and black spiky one. Oh, God. It was a look. It was a look. A look. I mean, my makeup has always been a little crunchy anyway. I never mastered it. I tried, and then I sweat, and then it went away. So, but yeah, so there's all that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so into that. I'm into all of the things you just said.
Oh God, yeah. I do need to start practicing my eyes soon because I do have to do a wedding eventually. A couple of lesbians I know are getting married. And I'm going to be the administrator of the wedding. I already have the wig.
Oh.
I already have the outfit. I just need to get the eye look done. And I want to look, a little more better than what I normally look. Now, they are used to the Miss Mims style, so...
Oh, I was going to say, that's a very specific style.
But I want it to look a little bit better for photographs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope they know that I usually go by the mid-90s version of not blending a single thing together. So I need to start doing that. A softer Miss Mims. A more delicate Miss Mims.
I'm excited about this. I also
need to get the tape to pull me back because my eyelids are starting to droop a little because I'm getting to be that age. So it's time to pull that back. And I can't lose too much weight either because then they're going to be down to here and I can't end up pulling back to do anything.
Oh my God. Oh no, everything you're saying is scary. Aging is scary.
All right, girl, I think that we've chatted enough today.
I think so too. All right, Miss Mims. Well, I will see you next week. We're gonna have some more chit chats and ladies and gentlemen and everything in between and our lovely audience. You guys have yourself a sweet
Bye, y'all.